Good afternoon, traders and investors. It's Will back with another one. Well, guys, another green day in the markets, and the markets are broad. We had some big financial earnings this morning that performed very well. And don't forget, tomorrow after the close, we start off with the tech stock earnings. Tesla and Netflix should be good. To Netflix currently crushing all competition and have actually increased their subscriber count since they restricted password sharing. And Tesla, we all know that they've already reported very good deliveries. The Cybertruck guidance is coming. The advertising budget spend is potentially coming as well. So a lot of positive catalysts for these two stocks. I would not be surprised if their earnings are going to do well. So without further ado, guys, let's get into some charts for today. So as we can see, S&P 500 up 0.74%, QQQ 0.82% on the day. Very clean day overall, right? If we look at the heat map here, very decently broad market. Only a few of our major tech names. Actually, in the morning, guys, Microsoft, NVIDIA, were red, right? So we did have a lot of red on our major tech stocks today. They were able to bring that back over the course of the day, but when the morning open was not looking too good for them, but we're able to close with a bullish close. Now, on the one-day relative performance, you can see here, guys, that once again, most of our major sectors were in the green, and on a one-week relative as well, we are in the green substantially, pretty much across the board here, guys. So very healthy market, if I do say so myself. Now, what happened here on Microsoft today, guys? If you haven't seen it, right? So what Microsoft did is they announced a $30 per month AI subscription for their suite of products, right? So they're going to be able to include within Teams, Excel, and Word some AI generation solutions there, which are it's going to be easier for users to input data because the AI is going to be able to do most of the back end work for you and pretty much take a lot of the guesswork out of it. So let's say you're typing something into Word. If you're typing a text, it will now give you suggestions. Same for Excel. If you're trying to make spreadsheets and whatnot, it will be able to generate them for you, which is very substantial. And the reason that Microsoft stock popped so much, if we look, guys, in the morning, Microsoft was actually down in the morning this morning, right? So we actually opened lower. And then after this news was announced, massive 5% pretty much bottom to top on the day, actually over that, about 7%. Massive move on Microsoft. Why? Because they will be generating more revenue. And if Microsoft does something well, they absolutely crush the subscription model game. And that's what you want a company to do, not just sell a product for one-time use. You want that recurring revenue, right? It's very easy for them to increase their free cash flows as such. And this, as you can see in this sentence, guys, generative AI assistant that works across the 365 platforms could increase monthly prices for enterprise customers as much as 83%. So no wonder that the stock is currently rising, because Microsoft, in essence, is going to be able to increase their revenue for a substantial amount. So very bullish news on Microsoft for that today. Now, let's get into some charts here, guys. Really not complicated at all, right? You should pretty much, if you've been watching the channel for a while, you should know what we look for. We are just looking higher highs, higher lows, support and resistance. Keep it simple. You guys can see I don't have a lot of indicators. Very simple. Moving averages. We have our momentum, both momentum indicators, right? The RSI and the MACD, which just lets us know where things are. If they continue to run further, are they oversold, overbought? Just lets you hone in on those turnaround points, right? So without further ado, guys, once again, anything above 438 pretty much is just a daily higher low, right? This daily uptrend never stopped. We've been setting higher highs every single day since this. So this is one daily move. Still looking for a potential daily higher low. Anything above 438 is going to be that daily higher low. Bulls in absolute full control. We have not had a daily downtrend, guys, since pretty much March. Since March, no daily downtrend confirmed by the bears. Where are we heading next? Let's take it up to the weekly here. Where are we heading next? As I was saying in my previous videos, 455 to 460 is your last area of resistance before the all-time highs, guys. We are still only now 5.5% pretty much off the all-time highs. Tremendous rally on the year. You can see the higher time frames monthly is looking excessively bullish. MACD cross on the bottom here, which lets me know that with the bulls in such full control, there's no need for this to stop. We have more and more analysts coming out on a daily basis saying that the recession, if any, will be shallow at best. So this is not a hard landing scenario. Start removing that concept from your minds. There is still some bad data on the table for the month of August in terms of a rate increase and potential inflation, slight increase, right, on a month-over-month basis because it's summer. People are obviously spending more money on leisurely activities such as travel, eating out, and stuff like that, right? So just keep that in mind, but longer term timeframes, guys, just points that the bulls are not done yet, no matter what people think, right? That those are just the technicals, right? Slightly overbought here, but still just looking for a daily higher low. Massive moves. QQQ, same concept, still looking for a daily higher low. Any pullback is just for a daily higher low compared to 364-ish. So anything above that, just going to be a higher low for more continuation. Where are we going on the weekly, guys? At this point, we have cleared the last area of resistance. We're now up into the all-time high resistance area, guys. This is crucial. Massive move, only 5.2% off the all-time highs. Would not be surprised, guys, if we just continue pushing up, grinding higher into these all-time highs. The weekly RSI is somewhat overbought. I will give you guys that, but it has been overbought for a month now. And look, this can stay overbought, guys, for quite some time. You've seen it in the past. Doesn't necessarily like right here, right? So pretty much like October all the way through January, this can stay overbought right here. February all the way through June. Okay, so it can stay overbought for quite some time. It's not extreme, only about 77. It is overbought, but can continue to go. The proof now is for the bears. The bears have to show us something, or if not, these markets without any negative catalyst will just grind higher. XLF financials, beautiful day, mostly led by Morgan Stanley. Morgan Stanley, beautiful move off earnings here, 6.45%. And my favorite for the channel, which I've been telling people about now for months. If you guys were listening to me and bought in the lower 50s, congratulations. You should be up roughly about 30, 25, 30% right now. Tremendous gains on Charles Schwab. I'm very, very happy from my investment in these guys. I always knew that this whole drop here during the banking crisis was completely overblown. This company makes money hand over fist. Hand over fist. Look at the profit margins. If you can't read it, it's 32%. 32% profit margins last year, right? Quarterly basis, we're always running 25 to above 30%, increasing revenues. As I said, the brokerage industry, right, is controlled by Charles Schwab. They have two of the largest brokers in the entire US, right? They have TD Ameritrade, which they have a large stake in, and they also have their own Charles Schwab broker, right? So a lot of the money they generate is from the brokerage game, not only banking. This is why it's one of my favorite plays in all of US financials. So great job by them. XLF now coming up into our resistance area, right? $36 to $37 is going to be the next stop to the upside. Our daily higher low has now been set, right? Daily higher low, now we're pushing higher. So anything above 34.15 is just going to be looking for another daily higher low to continue this daily uptrend. Weekly looks excessively bullish, right? Nice weekly uptrend. We're now past the previous area. That was resistance. This whole area is now support if ever we do take a larger term pullback, but I don't see that coming at this point. The bulls are healthy. I don't see it flushing at all. I do think that our next stop will most likely be in the higher 36 to 37 range, guys. If we do start pulling back, I will definitely be writing options in the 33 zone. XLV Healthcare still doing mostly absolutely nothing. We are still stuck in our massive tightening range, right? Massive tightening range. I've said it before. I have a bullish lean on healthcare because it's been so muted and hasn't really done anything, right? I do think that whenever our other sectors cool off, if they do, XLV is positioned very well to take the lead in that case, right? So we've been tightening out for so long. How long we've been trapped in this range, guys? Almost 2 years. 2 years of consolidation at the higher end of a move, right? This is the top 25% of this entire move. That is very, very healthy. So that's why I have a bullish lean. We're currently above most of our major moving averages here on the monthly, on the weekly as well. We're now back above it ever so slightly. And on the daily, they are holding up well. For me personally, it's just a matter of time before healthcare runs. My favorite play in all of healthcare right now is AbbVie. AbbVie very, very, very low currently, still roughly about 18, 19% off of your all-time highs here. Very, very good company. They pay a dividend, increasing revenues. It's all I'm looking for. Increasing revenues, decent margins year over year. They pay a dividend. It's one of the best medical companies in the world, in my opinion. IWM, bulls are going for it, guys. Going for it. Look, we're coming up into a resistance here. 200 psychological is really going to be the next level. We're coming into this resistance area here. RSI on the daily is not even overbought. Keep that in mind, guys. So there's still some momentum to be had. Confirmed daily uptrend at this point. Anything above 190 is just going to be a daily higher low. But keep an eye out here for your 200 psychological. If we do somehow blast through that in one clean shot, guys, I mean, we got to go all the way up to here to 210. And then once again, we're going to be pushing higher, right? So very, very healthy, especially on the weekly. This is now a confirmed weekly uptrend. Very, very healthy. Weekly, so much space. If we do pull back from this resistance area, there's so much space, guys. Anything above 180.11 is a weekly higher low. So bulls now at this point, in my opinion, are also in control of the small cap stocks. And if you take a look at my list here, usually over the past few days, right, a lot of your smaller cap stocks, guys, are taking over the lead right now. They are running hard 3, 4, 5% a day, which is why IWM has had some great outperformance. Dow Jones names, it happened. What have I been saying for 4, 5 weeks at this point? Inverse head and shoulders pattern with the follow through, crushing past 34,500. What did it? Financials, obviously, but the market breadth, guys, the market breadth. I knew this was coming because you have a healthy market. It's only a matter of time before your value names, which are value that are down 20 to 30% on the year potentially, start rallying as well, right? So now confirmed weekly uptrend at this point, especially if we close the week like this, daily confirmed uptrend as well. So now this whole area, 34,500-ish, becomes support. I know it's only one day. That's a very substantial close for me. I like it. So now we're looking for something like this. The breakout retest trade is one of the favorite in my bag with such a heavy area that they broke through. This is a very high probability trade. There are still some names, guys. I'll reiterate them. Estee Lauder, Nike, right? You saw Charles Schwab. Charles Schwab was still decently off the highs as well. We're still 30% off the highs for a name like Charles Schwab, right? So Nike, if you want to also look at names like Disney, I know Disney is having a bit of problems right now, reimagining their company and really honing down on their profit segments and cutting costs. But still, a name like Disney, all the way back to 2014 prices. If you want to take the risk on this, there is some fairly decent risk to reward ratio. They're still down 60%. So if you don't know which value names, just go through the entire Dow Jones 30 and find which ones are still significantly off their all-time highs. And they should be providing you the best risk to reward, especially if you like the companies, right? It's not everything that's at all-time highs, right? Even a name like Starbucks is still roughly 20% off their all-time highs, ever expanding. Very, very good margins for a company like Starbucks, which is in the food and beverage industry, right? Very, very, very decent profit margins as well. So there is still a lot of companies that are doing well, right? Public storage is another no-brainer for me, right? 30% still off the all-time highs. If you look at the long-term chart for this company, it is a grower, right? They pay a decent dividend every single year. They are increasing revenue. They have insane margins pretty much, right? So as you can see, guys, there are always deals out there. You just have to look through the lists and find them. It's a bit of tedious work. I'll be making a video on my top 10 value names, but so far, so good for the Dow Jones, plowing through our areas of resistance here. Very, very beautiful. Bitcoin doing absolutely nothing, testing our lower end of the support here. At this point, guys, this is just weekly consolidation, right? Weekly consolidation, lack of follow through every time we try to push to the upside. So at this point, it's really up to the bulls, right? We need to set a daily uptrend and smash through these highs here. If not, we are just going to continue this range-bound movement, continue this weekly consolidation. At least it's weekly bullish consolidation, right? At least they're not giving back too much of the move, but Bitcoin really needs to get its behind in gear to finally smash these areas, especially with risk on assets moving, guys. You know, in my opinion, it's just a matter of time before crypto starts getting a bit of that love too. I do have a bullish lean on it. Next target for Bitcoin, 34,000 all the way to 37,000, which would be roughly this area right here, okay? Now, let's go through tech quickly. So Apple pushing through today. A bit of a muted day, as you can see, guys. Apple was down 0.13%, not that much of a move, but still, once again, anything above 187 is just going to be a daily higher low for consolidation here. Struggling, double top at the all-time highs here, but some good bullish momentum. My sweet spot for Apple is all the way down here, but once again, guys, bulls in full control. Look, they control the 12 EMA, they control the entire chart. We're still only looking for a daily higher low on Apple, so congratulations to the bulls. AMD finally able to set the daily uptrend in motion. We're now closing above here, the 117 area, which is very, very healthy in my opinion. I do still have my 110s, although they're getting pretty worthless pretty quick. So happy about that. Traded AMD twice so far this week. Both positions worthless within the first 2 trading days of the week. Very, very happy about that. We've now created a lot of space here. The higher low, 110, right? Anything above 110 is just going to be a daily higher low for further continuation to the upside. AMD setting up very, very well for weekly continuation. Look, rejection at the 12 EMA. You love to see it when they respect these patterns. Look, as soon as it reversed, guys, respects the 12 EMA, this yellow line all the way up. On the way down was respecting the 12 EMA. A few little pops above, but for the most part was respecting it fairly decently. So that's a very good level to go off on the weekly. So that is what I'm expecting, guys. My sweet spot for AMD, I am writing options 110 to 107, but the big sweet spot is down there. But with the daily uptrends in motion now, and also the weekly upswing, wouldn't surprise me if AMD quickly starts to move towards its 130 resistance target. Amazon, guys, hunting for the daily higher low. It did exactly what I thought it was going to do, filled this little gap down here, and now rejected at the 12 EMA, both playing great defense. Anything above 126, this line right here, is just for a daily higher low for continuation of the upside, guys. Keep it simple. Unless the bears prove a daily downtrend, we are not going anywhere. You don't even need to look at the weekly. Weekly is fine, right? Next area of resistance, obviously, R136, previous highs, all the way up to 145, right? That whole range right there. So as of now, bulls in full control. Love to see it on Amazon. My sweet spot, obviously, is pretty much 120 and below. I may have to increase that if we push through this area. Amazon, I was able to write a few contracts last week, but haven't been able to participate much because it doesn't really pull back hard, except for these few days when we do get some good volatility. That is when I write the options. Google, same thing. Hunting for the daily higher low. Once again, we're approaching double support area. So this yellow box, which was previous resistance, has acted as support here for a very decent amount of time. Now, in my opinion, going to act as it again. Engulfing bullish move. We engulfed this whole down move here, second leg down, right? So first leg down, second leg down, daily downtrend confirmed. Now, engulf the move to the bulls. Now we're looking to reset the daily uptrend. So hunting for this daily higher low, moving average support, yellow box support, anything above 116 is just a daily higher low for the bulls to smash for the upside. Resistance, obviously 129 area, right? So very bullish on Google. If it does pull back a bit more, guys, I will get a bit cheeky. I will be writing options in the 119, 120 area for me personally. Microsoft, massive move by Microsoft off of that AI news, right? So new all-time highs confirmed for Microsoft. Absolute monster at this point. Daily uptrend is now confirmed, right? So at this point, guys, with such a clean break, safe to say anything above 342. Let me delete this line here. It used to be this one. Now at this point, line in the sand level for me, 341.77. All-time high is this yellow line right here. So decent level of support. Breakout, retest potential. Definitely indeed. Great job by Microsoft. No more price targets to the upside because we're now past the all-time highs, right? So no areas of resistance in sight. Now into price discovery. Daily, looking fairly decent, moving up here. MACD curling up, so it's very possible Microsoft is not done. Weekly, ever so slightly overbought, guys, but go back in history, it can stay overbought for quite some time, right? So don't put too much emphasis on that. Just go one step at a time. As long as the bulls don't lose the daily uptrend and set a daily downtrend, they are in full control. They are in absolute full control. So congratulations to Microsoft for that. Too rich for me at this point to be writing options or adding to my position, even though I do hold long-term shares of Microsoft, have no intention of selling them. Going to be one of the best investments in my opinion over the next 5-10 years. Easy hold for me, just not adding up here. Meta, right? Almost coming back to our highs here, right? So resistance is going to stay put at 317. At this point, we're kind of trying to set the daily higher low, right? Trying to set it at 306, right? But as of now, as long as we don't smash above, right? This is still daily consolidation. This whole area is daily consolidation. Anything above 288 is just going to be a daily higher low. Keep an eye on this 12 EMA because they've been using it hardcore for the past months, right? Almost at the gap fill break right here, right? So anywhere pretty much 320 is going to be your next massive area of resistance if we just continue grinding higher, right? So like the other stocks, guys, can't short it unless the bulls give me a daily downtrend. Just cannot be in the opposite direction of the trend. NVIDIA, same concept. How are you going to short it when the bears have not set a daily downtrend? How are you going to short this? Just based off the fact that it's ran a bunch and it's potentially overbought and the price is too high? Guys, that is not good basis for shorting something, right? When you're in a bull market, confirmed bull market with so much money that was sidelined over the past year with so much negativity, it is normal that people are plowing money into the market. The market cap does not matter. We've seen this with Tesla. We've seen this with big tech a number of times where they just defy logic. The PE ratio, this doesn't make sense. 241. It doesn't make sense because NVIDIA is growing at roughly 40+% per year. So if you put this as a PEG ratio, price expressed as a proportion to growth, the PE ratio is actually not that bad. It's actually closer to 50, right? So if you just look at this number alone and say NVIDIA has a 240 PE ratio, you're not looking at the full picture. You need to look at the growth aspects as well of the company and pull it on a relative basis. So yes, it's high, it's ran a bunch and whatnot, but even the technicals, like when have the bears set a daily downtrend? They couldn't even do it. Even at these high prices, these overbought prices, they couldn't do it, guys. So don't fight the trend. It might be aggravating. You might be saying, because you missed it, most likely. If you're in this stock, you're not looking for that. But if you missed it and you're feeling some type of way because you missed it and you think it's too high and you keep trying to bash your head against the wall, shorting it, guys, it's not the answer. I'm just trying to help you. I also agree that this thing's run a ton, but I will not short it unless the bears give me a daily downtrend, then for weekly consolidation. Then that opens a short potential. But please wait for them to give you the signal. As of now, there has been no confirmed bearish downtrend. It's just been bulls this whole time. Where do you see a bearish downtrend from December? This is the only daily downtrend, right? Since December, there's been no daily downtrend confirmation. They tried it once. Right here, guys. I'll pull it up, right? We tried it once where we smashed the lows slightly. And then what happened? No follow through whatsoever. So the bears, they just don't want it bad enough, right? So am I adding to this position as a bull? No. But am I shorting it as well? No. At this point, this is when things become a hold. Anything above 420 is just going to be a daily higher low for continuation until bears prove us the contrary. Tesla, beautiful day on Tesla, right? Another beautiful day on Tesla before earnings. We'll see what date happens tomorrow. But in my opinion, guys, if you want my opinion, this is not financial advice. I think Tesla's going to crush it. They have too many positive catalysts on the table. We have two models that are coming out this year, Cybertruck and one that Elon hasn't hinted about, but there's a lot of speculation that it may be the smaller compact model under $30,000, right? We have deliveries that have been absolutely amazing. So we know they're going to crush the numbers already. Now it's all down to the guidance. And here's the thing. Q3 and Q4 are usually the best quarters for Tesla. All right, so just keep that in mind. Cybertrucks are coming Q3, right? And we also have advertising on the table. So they are to potentially release their advertising campaigns, which Elon hinted at on the last earnings call when the question was asked, right? So there's so many bullish catalysts for Tesla that, and all of it also, number 5, they did increase their prices. So they stopped their pricing to the downside and they've now re-increased prices incrementally now that demand and supply have stabled out, right? So there's so many bullish catalysts, guys, for Tesla that unless we get an absolute disaster, I think it's going to fly. I really think it's going to fly. I'm not going all out YOLO calls on it, but I'm getting a bit closer with my strikes. I have the 267.5s and I also have the 265s in the long-term account, right? One contract each. We'll see with price action tomorrow. If I do want to add a little bit more, my next add would probably be some 275s, but I don't want to get too greedy, even though I have a bias that it could potentially fly. I have a very sizable shares position in Tesla. I'm happy with it. There's no reason for me to take excess risk here. I'm just putting it below because if we come down, I will gladly buy more Tesla shares. Why? Why would I not even mind here, guys? We're in a monthly confirmed uptrend at this point. Even if we pull back on the monthly here for monthly consolidation, I won't mind, guys. This is a very heavy position for me. I'm in it for the long run, right? So Tesla, guys, anything above 267.5 is just for a daily higher low. I do think if we crush earnings, we're going to blast through this entire resistance zone here, okay? Resistance zone all the way up to 310. If we blast through that, we're going all the way up to about 330, 340 next target, all right? So just keep that in mind. All time frames are excessively bullish. Monthly, weekly uptrends, daily uptrends, and bullish catalysts potentially on the earnings call itself, and bullish guidance will make this thing fly. So that being said, I am definitely bullish on Tesla. But if we do pull down 10% because it was an absolute disaster, I will definitely be writing some options down here. This is my sweet zone area anyways. So, you know, protected, we're not protected, but we're ready for it either way. PayPal doing an absolute great job here, almost with the gap fill here around 75. So like we were saying yesterday, guys, still can pull back. Anything above 65.60, just going to be a daily higher low. Bulls in full control of the daily, full control at this point of the weekly. It is a weekly uptrend. We've confirmed it at this point. Nice reversals above the moving averages, guys. We have not gotten above these moving averages much in the past pretty much a year. So you love to see it where the stock is bottoming out finally, and we're starting to get some momentum, nice momentum to the upside on PayPal. So keep an eye out for it. Anything above there, right here, is just going to be a daily higher low. For PayPal, I do think that PayPal is going to come up into this mid 70s area. And then potentially on the higher time frames, I do think that we are potentially going to get a push up to 80, 90, and even potentially $100. I'm not even talking about this area yet. We'll talk about it when we get there, but those are the levels. We have to smash through this 76 area of resistance, and then we're going all the way up to mid 80s, all the way to 90. So that is why I have roughly 700 shares of PayPal and a few leaps on it. So I am putting my money where my mouth is. That's over $50,000, guys, in PayPal stock that I am willing to hold for the medium to long term. Palantir as well, guys. Bulls absolutely smashing everything at this point, right? So great job by the Bulls. Daily uptrend is confirmed. Once again, anything above 1626 is just going to be a daily higher low. We do have now horizontal support, which was previous resistance here at the 52-week highs. So we can use that plus the 12 EMA, right? So it wouldn't surprise me if the bulls keep going. Where are we going on Palantir? As I said, I do think we're going all the way up to $20 psychological level before potentially having some weekly consolidation, but so much space on the weekly, guys. Anything above $13, $14 here, $13.80, $14, just a weekly higher low. Massive move by Palantir. Congratulations to my bulls. Now, let's get into the account over here. So the account right now is sitting at 60, almost 65%, guys. So really can't complain. The S&P's down here at roughly 18. So heavy outperformance. We are still outperforming the NASDAQ, even though the NASDAQ is having a record year. We are doing even better, right? So NASDAQ up about 36%. Our account is up 64. So we used to be 2xing it, but now the NASDAQ has obviously been putting in a bit of outperformance. Our account is going up decently as well, but I just haven't put on that much risk in the past 2 weeks. Can't be mad at this, guys. We're doing really, really well, even with some drawdown and some assignments. And these negative shots that you see right here, these are just withdrawals, right? So whenever we get assigned, you can see the chart looks really, really decent. But when the chart pulls back fast like this is just me withdrawing money for expenses when we've made some decent profits and I need to pay for miscellaneous expenses such as travel and whatnot. Now, if we go on to the positions here, guys, you'll see that not much has changed since yesterday. Added a few, took profit on a few. So the Charles Schwab's that I wrote for 29 cents each, obviously worthless at the open, so close them at 1 cent. The Roblox did very good. I wrote them around 18 cents here, 18, 19 cents, and took profit on them today when they were roughly 6 cents. So very, very good profits as well. You know, well over 50%, 60%, 70% profit on those. So you just had to close them and roll the buying power into something else. What did I choose? Well, I chose to wrote them in the TPR 42s. TPR, very, very decent company, guys. If you don't know this one, right? Tapestry. So they operate a number of different businesses, solid company as a whole. They're just kind of trapped here. They've been trapped in this range for a while. I wrote the 42s, which is this line right here. Why? It's been good support here over the past month. So I do think we got a good, decent probability of getting rejected if we do pull back into here. And I wrote them in the morning here. So as you can see, we're now already above that. I'm not sure why it still shows 42s. Not sure why it still shows 15 cents. They're actually less than that, but just because the options aren't that liquid, it should actually be, you know, the bid in the ass between 5 and 10 cents. So we're already up on those. PayPal and Nike, obviously, those are just rolled positions from last week. We'll probably be rolling them 1 week more if we can get some decent premium. Tesla, 267.5s. I wrote them for 281. They're already down $1, so good on that. WSM here, wrote them at 46 cents. They're now down to 30 cents. So WSM, if you guys don't know, Williams-Sonoma, also very, very solid company here. So as you can see, I wrote the 122s, which is in this red box area. This is pretty much my support zone down here. Very, very decent area of support now that we've broken above it, right? So these are the plays that I love, guys. I love doing this because even if I'm forced to hold Williams-Sonoma, guys, this is a very, very strong company and we're down 40% off all-time highs in the bottoming process of the chart here. And not only that, even on the past month, very, very good support. So confluence, right? We do have some Disneys. The Disneys as well are still active, 38. Wrote them at 38. They're down to 29, so some decent profit on those so far. Can't complain. If I get assigned at 84 on Disney, I really don't even care. That's such a good price. Baba 88s are still in play. Wrote them this morning, right? 29 cents a piece. And they're slightly higher right now at 33, but Baba 88s, pretty good strike in my opinion. We have pulled back from the 97, 96 area, so I was quite happy with that. And the end phases as well, right? The 180s. I'm currently underwater on those. It pulled back hard today. We closed around 184, but I'm not too nervous. Even end phase at 180 in the grand scheme of things, would not be mad at that at all. So some very, very decent performance, guys. As you can see, I have a bit more contracts on than the prior weeks, getting a bit more plays that I'm able to find out there, right, for some decently valued plays and whatnot. And you can see the AMDs up here, the 110s, right, are pretty much almost worthless here, about 70%. It would be very surprising if it pulls back to 110 by Friday. So very happy with that, guys, overall. Now, if you appreciated the video, guys, this is when I kind of appeal to your generosity. Consider giving me a like. Consider subscribing to the channel. If you have any questions, always feel free to ask down in the comments, and I will gladly reply. If you want my opinion on any stock or options plays or whatnot, you guys can even talk to me about long options, right? Whether it be short-dated calls, short-dated puts, long-dated calls or puts, like just let me know, and I will have my pleasure in answering you down below in the comments, guys. So I will see you guys after the close. Big day tomorrow, Netflix, Tesla. Happy trading. I love you guys. Peace.